Hey there, booze buddies, and welcome to another episode of Paranormal Spirits, where we share a drink, we tell you a spooky story, and then we rip it apart because booze always shows the truth. Gather around, kids, because today I'm going to tell you the story of the Crescent Hotel. The Crescent Hotel was built in 1886 in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Eureka Springs had recently become infamous for its... words are hard. It was the home of the healing spring waters. It was said that the spring waters locally were believed to have curative powers. So they built this hotel there because made it a spa and did the whole thing because people were flocking to the area. Around the turn of the century, kind of interest in that started to fade because people realized those waters didn't heal shit. So they were like, come in here, doing the springs, not getting any better. There are a lot of stories that come from the hotel, but most of them and most of the really spooky ones and the major ones, the source of those come from this grand fella. You're gonna love him. His name is Norman Baker. Norman Baker purchased the hotel and turned it into a clinic for people with cancer. Fun fact, Norman Baker was not a doctor, but he claimed that he had the cure for cancer. Basically, they advertise it as the place that you could come and have your cancer cured. But in all reality, he was just injecting people with a mixture of glycerin, carbolic acid, alcohol, and that was all mixed with extracts from watermelon seeds, corn silk, and clover. There is one man, his wife went there, and she actually left there. She was still, obviously, she didn't die at the hospital. She was still alive. Well, she didn't die at the center, the clinic. She told her husband that it was awful. They would stick them with 5 to 7 needles a day, and they would hold them there until the medicine ran out. And this man made hundreds of thousands of dollars at this clinic. And it was said that he had all of these specimens and bottles and medicine and all that stuff still left on the territory. And when somebody purchased it in the 60s, they said they disposed of it. But very recently, I think I don't even remember when it was, but it wasn't too long ago. Maybe in the 90s, maybe in the 2000s. I didn't look at the date because I didn't care. Because it wasn't important, but it was pretty recent. They found over 500 bottles on the property, and some of them had medical specimens, which he would claim were tumors that he removed from people and all of that jazz. And it was evidence. He used those little tumors as evidence that the cure was working. Dumb. Norman Baker. What a name.
Right? What a Norman.
Don't be such a Norman. Sorry to any Normans out there. We're going to do a different story on Norman another time because that's a really interesting one, but I really wanted to focus on the actual hauntings of this hotel. There are a lot of really different stories, and I found most of the time when you look at places like this, they have 1 or 2 accounts.
Uh-huh. And sorry, I just hit the microphone with my beer, and then beer went up my nose.
The sound was amazing. It was it was great. There was a lot of stuff happening.
So sorry.
So there were stories starting from the time that it was constructed, right? So it said that one of the workers fell onto he fell and died onto what is now the location of room 218. And naturally, we say that there are a lot of things that occur in that room, right? People have reported that it's kind of poltergeist activity due to the nature of the haunting, right? Just in that room alone, not the whole hotel. This one freaks me out. Guests have witnessed hands coming out of the mirror.
What?
In the bathroom.
No. That is not okay.
Can you imagine? I would ask them to blow dry my hair. Can you help me with my eyeliner? Yeah, do you think that you could hold this? Thank you. I'm trying to curl it. It's really complicated. Thanks. What will you do if a hand came out of the mirror in the bathroom? need a hand.
I would, in fact, call it a bathroom hand. Second, I would probably get out of there very quickly. Be like,
would you shake it?
I don't know. Toy Story 5.
Yeah. I have like a weird compulsion. I told you about the lady with the hand under the stall, right? Where I just wanted to shake it. It's a problem.
So would you shake it?
Yeah. I would want to shake it. I would be like, WTF, mate. And then I would want to shake it immediately. Like, I can't. It's too silly. Like, it's scary, but it's also really silly to be like, hello. Like, it depends on the motion of the hand, too. Like, is it, like, coming to get you? Or is it just, like, looking through?
Right, yeah. True. Is it, like, fingers coming out of the mirror? Like, that would be funny.
I mean, it's just like this. Pull my finger, right? Like, it just depends.
You go and touch it, and it's like on the other side.
It's a good place for that. It's the bathroom. Another thing is people hear cries of a falling man in the ceiling. So they hear him, like his death cries in the ceiling. That's annoying. Do you think it's really death cries? Or do you think it's somebody in a different hotel room having a grand old time?
What is the death cry? That's what I want to know. Like, oh, I'm dying. That would be...
I don't know. I think it's the sound you make when you're falling to your death. I think that's the one. Fuck. It's just the whistle from every Roadrunner cartoon ever. Neither one of us are good whistlers, apparently. We both were just like...
I just make the sound with my mouth, really.
I just think that it maybe is not the cries of a falling man. It's just the cries of somebody having a grand old time in a different room.
It could be. And that's when the hand comes through the mirror to high five.
A hand job comes through the mirror. They left out a word.
Or just a thumbs up.
Nice job, bro. Other things, doors have been known to slam shut and then you can't open them again. So you're just kind of like stuck, I guess. I don't really know how that works. And so that's just in that one particular room, right? So it's pretty neat. So people like obviously have flocked to the hotel to stay in that room. And there's all sorts of, I'm sure there's tons of more documented places that I didn't find. In the crystal dining room of the hotel, that felt like it was going to be way more than it actually was, and I'm upset about it. A lot of people have encountered spirits in Victorian dress. There's a story actually about one holiday season, like all the employees left and the Christmas tree and like the packages underneath were on one side of the room, and then they came in the next day and they were all on the other side of the room with like some chairs circling it, and that weren't there when they left.
Did they barricade the tree or the presents?
It was just like all, like sitting around the tree, like chairs like around the tree with the presents. Like they wanted to sit and hang out and look at the tree and enjoy it. Blech, Christmas is dumb, ghosts. I'm a Grinch. Another time the employees left, and when they came back in the morning, the dining room was in perfect condition except for the fact that the menus were like scattered everywhere. So Ghosty was not pleased with whatever was on the menu. Get out of here. I want a shrimp scampi. Shrimp scampi? Why?
Shellfish. I think ghosts still have allergies. If you're allergic to cats in life, are you still going to be allergic to ghost cats?
Do ghost cats have ghost dander? Like, that's real deep. I hope not, man.
Let us know in the comments what you think. Do ghost cats have ghost dander?
Do you think ghosts still have allergies? Let us know in the comments. One of the waitresses once looked into a big old mirror that was like kind of near the dining room and the kitchen, and she saw a man in like Victorian dress and a woman, and they were facing each other like they were like getting married. And then the man kind of made eye contact with the waitress, and they faded away.
is he's like, this is a private moment. Do you mind?
Yeah. This private event. Do you have an invitation? No? Get out. Not for you. That waitress, she quit after that. She was like,
Really?
yeah, like, can you imagine? It's like the most docile ghost experience of all time.
No, the ghosts were leaving you.
She saw some ghosts in a mirror, and the guy was like, oh, excuse me, we'll go away now. And she's like, I'm out of here. I can't handle it. Get a hold of yourself, waitress.
Let her clean that room with the hand mirror.
I'm obsessed with the hand mirror. I really think there's a lot of things we could use that ghost for. And that ghost is like very helpful. Yeah.
Agreed.
If you're like in the shower and your ass is like gets pinched, and you're like, ow, hand mirror. Come on. Behave.
What if you're like on the toilet and you're like, oh, no more toilet paper? Whoop, out of the mirror comes another roll.
Thanks, hand mirror.
But I forgot my towel. I was stepping out of the shower and I'm all wet. Thanks, hand mirror.
Poor hand mirror is perverted, and he goes,
I'll dry you off.
ah, ghost hands, so cold. I would imagine that they would be cold.
What if you just feel like all of a sudden you feel a ghost breath, like, oh, I don't have a towel.
Ugh. Like you're standing there like this. Turn. Lift one. Lift the other. Just a lot of water gets trapped under there. Get in my belly button. We don't want that.
It's gross. Do you think ghosts like hand mirror can hold your boobs while you dry your hair? Hold them up to prevent the like hair dryer sweat? You know that stuff.
If hand mirror, ghost mirror, hand mirror is different.
And mirror.
If ghost hand mirror can hold my boobs, I'm gonna spend a lot of time in the bathroom. Caitlin, why are you always in the bathroom? No reason. Everything's fine in here. Leave us alone. Who's us? Nothing. Everything's fine. It's just me. By myself. There's no hands in here. Two hands in here only. This next ghosty sighting is really sweet. It's always a lot of Victorian people. A lot of Victorian ghosts hanging around. Again, it's like a Victorian man sitting at a table near a window, and they can actually hear him speaking. And he says, I saw the most beautiful woman here last night, and I'm waiting for her to return. And then he also kind of like disappears into the darkness. But can you imagine like seeing the most beautiful woman ever and then like just being stuck in that loop? Like, that's awful.
All of eternity, and you never get to see the most beautiful woman again.
How hot was she?
Right? Was she worth all of eternity? I'm going to say no on that, because no one would.
Right, no.
Yeah.
But that's still really sweet. How romantic. How romantic, Victorian ghost man. A lot of people see apparitions in like ball attire. It's just balls hanging everywhere. Just really satchel-y skin suits. Little
skin
stray hair. Little stray hairs all over it. Ball attire. Either that or it's just little suits on the actual balls themselves.
Yes. Oh my god, I want that one. I vote for that one.
His little bow tie, little suit.
Little top hat.
Pocket square. Tails. He has a cane built in.
But no belt.
No belt. No belt. That's painful. That's a ball attire. Ballroom attire. Dancing around the room during the night and in the morning when the room was like closed and dark. So they see people having a good time. So it seems like the ghosts of this place are pretty like happy, aside from that one guy that fell to his death.
Right. Not great for him. But yeah, I mean, it seems like the rest of them are just like hanging out and having a good, like, grand old Victorian time.
But there are ghosts from good old cancer clinic days. So those ones not so happy. Some people say that they see Dr. Baker himself. They see good old Normie Bakes himself. He always wore a white suit. He was like basically the KFC guy, wearing a purple shirt and a white linen suit, and just hanging out like in the lobby. Right? Like, why?
Right.
Get out. What are you just hanging out, waiting for people to come so you can cure them of cancer?
What a weirdo.
This story is great. We'll do a follow-up because it's actually really interesting. And then, so other people have said they've seen a nurse pushing a gurney, and very close to like his old morgue. So side note, his morgue is still there. So like the morgue and his autopsy table are still there. So they're still on the premises because it's kind of like history. Like, it's historic. They do ghost tours and stuff there.
Oh, okay.
So they have that still there. So
I didn't know if they used it as like an extra refrigerator, like when they have big events.
Keep the wedding cake in here.
They'll never know. It's fine.
I mean, words like this. I'm like T-Rexing this story.
Roxanne, keep the wedding cake right there.
Oh, dinosaurs. So yeah, they see a nurse pushing a gurney, and they can like hear the squeaking of the wheels on the gurney as she like pushes it down the hallway. Again, what a shitty like ghost life where you just have to keep working your dumb job.
Right.
Imagine like Ghost is just like sitting at a computer answering emails. She's just like, thank you, Caitlin here. Happy to help. For eternity. Another hotel maintenance man said there are a lot of stories from this place, so like I'm just gonna keep rattling them off. A hotel maintenance man witnessed all of the washer and dryers turning on in the middle of the night at the same time, and the laundry room is located right next to the old morgue. So all the old morgue guests really wanted their laundry done.
They're like, we might be dead, but we're not disgusting.
Did I just call them morgue guests? They're morgue guests. Are you a guest at the morgue? We have free laundry on the facilities.
Free laundering and cake.
Come be a guest at our morgue. Free laundry, cake, and ball attire. On the house.
Attire. Do you think like a non-binary ghost would have one ball as like a tuxedo and one ball with a dress?
I hope so. Does the tuxedo one have a mustache? A little pube mustache? I know you hate that word.
That's straight hair, yeah.
It's just one short and curly. Singular. Sick. This one's getting real weird. And then there is a ghost named Theodora, and she's usually seen in room 419. A lot of the housekeepers have reported meeting her, and she introduces herself, and she says that she's a cancer patient. And after you kind of like exchange some, common, normal, like courtesies, I guess, with her, she disappears. She just wants to say, hey, what's up?
So is she like transparent? Are they aware she's a ghost at the time that they're talking to her? Or is she like full like physical person? And then all of a sudden it's like, see you later.
I don't know, but I would like to think that she was full physical person. I would like to think that.
Transparent, because I want the staff to really be like okay with this. So much so that they will sit there and take a break and have a convo with the ghost, because I totally would.
I mean, I would too, but the other girl quit when she saw two ghosties getting married, so like...
So we won't count her.
Sorry, I feel like I have something in my throat. Maybe it's that singular ball of hair. Just hanging out back there. Sick. That's all gonna be on the internet. Like, and the last one that I could find was a man named Steve Garrison, who was a cook there. It's funny because in this story, like, he starts telling his story, being like, I don't drink, never have, never did, right? Like, he's like, I'm not a drinker, right? So he has to like prove that he wasn't hammered. So he's like, one morning when I came into work, in the crystal dining room again, he saw a little boy with like glasses, dressed in old-fashioned clothing, skipping around the kitchen, just having a good old time. And then he also came into work one morning and he flipped the lights on in the kitchen, and all of the pots and pans came flying off their hooks. All of them.
Wow. At him or just like
just
down?
Off the hooks. How pissed would you be?
Right? I'd be like, dude, I gotta wash all of those now.
Sucks. So just trying to be a cook. Sucks. So those are the ghosties. I'm sure there's tons more. Because it seems like it's a really active location. Obviously, there was something somewhere that said it was the most haunted hotel in America, but everything says it's the most haunted something or other somewhere. So I don't think that's true, but it does seem like it's really active. And I think a lot of it does, clearly something in the Victorian era, people were just sticking around. They must have really loved it there because they came back.
I think Victorian people just like to haunt things. It always seems like it's a ghost, right?
I think about this a lot because in like 100 years from now, are they going to see like early 2000s ghosts? Like, is it going to be like a bunch of early 2000s people in like ultra low rise jeans with like this 1-inch zipper and like the big chunky belts and like frosted tips, like ghosts with just frosted tips? Is that what it's gonna be?
They'll be like, there was this lady there in millennial dress, and she
sick. Or even worse, Jenko jeans. A ghost in Jenko jeans. That's it. There's nothing scary about that. I think Victorian clothing is just more like eerie as opposed to like any other time period.
Or do you think that maybe these are some like more modern day ghosts that are like, I'm putting on some Victorian garb, some ghostly Victorian garb to seem scarier?
No, I think that they're really Victorian ghosts because I don't know, but I'm just really curious about like what ghosts of the future are gonna wear. What are future ghosts gonna wear? Because if it's millennial dress, it's going to be hilarious. Like, it can no longer be scary.
Right.
Like, think about just like punk rock ghosts. And it was a leather jacket with studs all over it. And he had a mohawk. And it was a wee scary.
Like 80s ghosts. Can you imagine? It was a guy with really big hair.
Yes, so much hair. Makeup, so it's confusing.
Really tight pants.
The skinny jeans ghosts, they'll be like, it was a man, but his pants were really tight, like uncomfortably tight. You could see his ball attire. So anyways, this hotel is it's a hotel and spa again. And like I said earlier, they do ghost tours and all that shenanigans because why wouldn't you capitalize on your ghosties? But yeah. That's it.
I can't wait to hear the story of the guy, but like the ghost hands mirror and the ball attire are my two favorites out of that.
The ball attire, not actually anything having to do with the story, also very funny. But yeah, the ghost hand mirror really was what roped me in. I was like, a hand came through the mirror in the bathroom. Rude.
Right.
Dirty. Does it wash?
Like, not looking, I'm just helping. Here's some toilet paper.
No. He's brushing your teeth for you?
Yeah, all you have to do is stand there.
Oh, you have an electric toothbrush? That's cute. Watch this. I have a ghost toothbrush.
He's giving you a mouthwash. You're just like...
Yeah. It's really funny. Oh, God.
I like him. It's my kind of ghost.
Yeah. He's sweet. Well, that's the crappy story of the Crescent Hotel and the cancer stuff and the ghost hand mirror and the ball attire. If you like what you saw, Fuck. So, wow, I usually have one right on the tip of my tongue. If you like what you saw, get the hand from your ghost mirror to press the like, subscribe button and ring that bell. And if you don't like what you saw, you don't have good taste, because this is a good one.
It was.
It's kind of a good, I mean, it might not be a good one. It might be junk. You might be right. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time on What? We'll see you next time. Am I all right? Thanks. We'll see you next time for more drunken adventures with two old, not wearing Victorian garb when we die whores. What? Get out. Goodbye. That was a mess. Get out.